Today I'm going to show you how to make this Moorish chickpea and spinach stew, one of the most iconic Spanish dishes you'll find. It uses all of the key ingredients that you'll find used across Spanish cuisine: smoked paprika or pimentón, cumin, sherry vinegar, garlic, and the indigenous ingredients to the region, chickpeas and spinach. So let's get started. The ingredients for this chickpea and spinach stew include spinach, chickpeas, baking soda, garlic, saffron, cumin, and Spanish paprika, which is a smoked paprika, olive oil, sherry vinegar, and some bread. The star of this dish are chickpeas. Chickpeas are indigenous to the Mediterranean, and in order to properly cook them for this dish, we've soaked them in water and added some baking soda. Baking soda increases the pH, which helps to break down some of the fibers and create a really nice creamy bean in the very end. At this point, our chickpeas, or garbanzos, are done. You'll note this when you can take one between your fingers, give it a squeeze, and it should smash fairly easily. At this point, I'm going to turn the flame off, add our salt, give it a stir, and let this sit to cool for just a little bit. You'll also notice that our liquid has reduced to just the top of the garbanzo beans. One of the pillars of all Spanish cuisine is olive oil. We're going to cook some garlic in olive oil in a pan on medium heat until browned. Careful not to burn. Now that our garlic cloves are brown, we're going to remove them, and we're going to save this for another preparation for this dish. Our olive oil is scented with that garlic, and what we're going to do now is we're going to toast some bread. A key technique in Spanish cooking is using bread as a thickener, which is going to happen in this stew. And to do so, the bread is always toasted beforehand in some beautiful olive oil. Okay, turning. Now that our bread is browned on both sides, I'm going to take that out. We're going to set it aside to cool. Now that my olive oil has cooled slightly, we're going to add some smoked paprika, also known as pimentón, some cumin, saffron, white pepper, and some sherry vinegar. Smoked paprika is the only kind of paprika you're going to find in Spain. We don't want to let this burn. We're going to add our cumin, our saffron, stir this around. And these spices are very indicative to the Moors who inhabited this region for quite some time and left their mark, not only with spices, but also sherry vinegar. A little bit of white pepper. That smells wonderful. And we're going to set this aside to garnish our dish. A quintessential technique of Spanish cooking is using bread as a thickener for sauces. This fried bread that we created earlier, I'm going to tear it up into smaller pieces. And I'm going to add my garlic cloves that have been browned in that oil. Many of the sauces in Spain are created in a mortar and pestle. We want to make a smooth paste. Okay, this is what we're going to look for. This preparation can also be created in a food processor, or you could just use toasted breadcrumbs. I've brought my chickpeas back up to a boil. Now I'm going to add some spinach. Spinach is baby spinach here, but you could also use whole leaf spinach. We're going to stir that in so that it wilts. And we'll do this in batches. Okay, one more batch of spinach. At this point, I'm going to turn the flame down just a little bit. And when the spinach is just wilted, we're going to add our garlic and bread paste to thicken the stew. And that shouldn't take too long to thicken up. Make sure it's stirred in quite well. And then we'll finish with our sherry pimentón sauce here. We'll leave a little bit for garnish. Now this stew can be served hot. It can also be served room temperature and makes a fabulous tapa or appetizer. You'll notice that the broth has really thickened up here, and that's due to our bread and garlic paste. And it's taken on a beautiful color and aroma from that smoked pimentón. And a little finish of our pimentón sauce. And there you have it, our Moorish chickpea and spinach stew.